Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with Row. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an automated door that'll go up as soon as you go near it. And let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is right click, select a blueprint class, and we're just going to look for an actor. And I'll call this automatic door. And now in my automatic door, I'm going to want to add a static mesh of a door, and I'll just call this one door. And I'll choose an static mesh for this door that's going to slide up and down. And then underneath this, I'm going to also want to add a box collision. I'm going to want to make it tall enough to kind of cover the door. And this will pretty much set the boundaries of where the player will have to enter in order to make this door automated. So if you have a huge gate that's going to be automatically open when the player goes near it, you're going to want this to be fairly big. So I'll just set the height. Just remember, if it's too short, then the box collision will move along with your player because it's parented to the door right now. If you don't want the to happen, you can just unparent it or just make the box size bigger. Either one works. So I'll just make this big in my case. And I'll hit compile and save. And now what you're going to want to do is go to the event graph. And you'll already see this event actor begin overlap. And what we're going to do is create a timeline. And let's add this timeline into our graph. And we'll double click on it. And now you'll be presented with this kind of empty looking timeline template, and we'll hit plus track and add a float track. And I'll call this float track door opening. And I'll set it to 2 seconds. And then I'll hold shift and left click twice in 2 different places. And I'll set a value of 0, 0, which is going to be the starting point of our door and the end point of where we want the door to get to at the end of the 2 seconds that we set. So I'm just going to set the time to 2, just like we set our length here. And I'll set the value of 280. If you don't know what you want to set your value to for the door, then click on viewport, go to door, and just see how high it's going to go, or I guess left or right. So in this case, I want it to go up just about this much so the player can go under it. And that's 280 on my Z axis of my location. So I'll hit Control Z to make sure it's all 0, 0, 0. I'll hit F on my keyboard so that I can see the line. And I'll just right click, hover over both of them, and I'll right click and select auto. And now they'll both be set to the auto. This just makes the transition a bit smoother while the door opens and closes. So I'll save, compile. And now back to my event graph, I'm going to update this to set relative location. And for the target, it will be the door because that's what's going to be moving. And I'll just split this and I'll select the door opening to my new location on my Z axis because I want it to be positive 280. And now when I drag my automatic door and I run to it, the box collision will activate and it'll open. But now I have another issue, is when I go away from it, it's not going to close. I could leave it permanently open, but it would look better if it's closed. So let's go back to our automatic door and I'll select the box on my components list here. And I'll scroll all the way down till I see events. And now all I'm going to want to do is on component end overlap, which just means that when I leave the overlap of the box, so when I leave this whole space, basically this giant invisible cube, then I will just do the reverse of the animation. So it'll just go back to closing the door. So now we can try this in play. And if I go near the door, it opens. And if I leave, it'll end the overlap and reverse the animation. So it's set to 0, 0, 0. And that's one of our simple UE5 blueprints. Like, subscribe, share, comment below what you want to see next, and subscribe to see more. Thanks for watching Code with Row. If you want to support my channel, my Patreon is in the link below. Thanks for watching and goodbye.